Hello, this is a quick update on what's happening next. Those of you that are already on my email list will know I've decided to shut my company down. There's a couple of reasons for that, which I'll go into in just a moment, but also many people have been asking, what will I be doing next? Well, that's a very good question. I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But one thing I do know that I'll be doing very shortly is writing book 2 in the trilogy. Now, I've written book 1 and book 3. Initially, this was going to be book 2, but it was too big a leap to fit everything in that had happened from 2013, where this book would set, up until 2025. So this one covers what happened to me in 2020 to 2025, all sorts of very unexpected things. So I now need to fill in and do the one in the middle. So that will be the first thing I do after Christmas. But the reason for shutting the company down is twofold. One, sales have been low. With fewer and fewer people having the money to purchase their own home, it was always on the cards at some point that the company wouldn't last forever because, the customer base has dropped so much. Also, advertising costs have gone through the roof. It was costing me anywhere between £50 and £100 to get each customer, with advertising through the usual means. And, when your courses are £99, it's just not possible to earn a living with reduced customer numbers. But what has speeded me up closing my company down is the government. They've basically got a gun to the head of all company directors and are forcing us to get verified through GovUK One login or else. And for those of you that don't know, GovUK One login is actually the infrastructure for digital ID, which I'm very much against. I don't think any government should have so much control over the services citizens can and can't get access to whenever they decide. Also, GovUK One login has lost its safety certification. Good job I found this screenshot because the information appears to be scrubbed off the internet. I've just done a search because initially I couldn't find that screenshot, and it says there is no information suggesting that. And then when you scroll through the search results, nothing comes up. Now, last time I did this a month ago for one of our Council Watch videos, there was loads of information on GovUK One login losing its safety certificate. And Google has reduced the number of pages that show up on searches as well, which makes it harder and harder to research things. And it's not like the government have a great track record, as it is for keeping sensitive data secure. So the government are forcing company directors to put their biometric data into a system that isn't secure, which again, I don't agree with, and I'm not going to do it. But my main concern is the fact that this is the infrastructure for digital ID. Everyone's focusing on brick card, and really, that's a bit of a red herring, because anyone that signs up for GovUK One login, which they're going to make compulsory from 2027, so everything from your driver's license to buying and selling property on land registry, your benefits, healthcare, everything is being forced into this system. If it gets hacked, it makes us very vulnerable. So if this is all sounding rather far-fetched, or you just want to know more, then I would suggest you take a look at the interview I did with ex-lawyer Claire Wills-Harrison, who's been researching this at great depth for the last 3 years, and all of the changes, subtle changes to different legislations that make this all possible. I will link to that interview below this video. So because closing my company down has come a lot quicker than I anticipated, I'm a bit on the back foot as to what to do other than to complete my trilogy, but I do foresee a day where one will need a digital ID just to even log online or access a bank account. So whatever I do next, I feel needs to be in the physical world rather than being online. So I'm thinking of things that I could make and sell. But in the meantime, I have actually finished my home healing handbook, which many people have asked me for. And it's basically my apocalypse medicine cabinet, everything that I've got to deal with serious medical emergencies that will cover both me and my family should we ever be in a situation where we can't get medical help or there simply isn't the medical supplies. Now, I was going to make this into a whole course with lots of videos, etc., but because I'm shutting down, I'm not going to be doing that. So it's available by donation on my website. A link will be in the video description. Now, there's currently a closing down sale on successfulgardendesigner.com. So if you want a garden design course, hurry up and get one. Now, I've decided to pay for an extra month of hosting, so you will have access to all the courses until the beginning of February. But I'll also be supplying all customers with a Dropbox folder, so with all the courses laid out in the right order, so all you've got to do is download one big file, rather than individually downloading each piece of content off the website, and that will be sent out to people after Christmas. I'm also using that month as an experiment, because if I set up as a sole trader, if enough money comes in to pay for the web hosting, I'm more than happy to keep the websites up and running, because that is the best way to consume the content. But the cost of hosting a membership site, including the software that does all the emails, is quite expensive. So I will need at least a few £100s a month coming in just to pay for the web hosting. But if that happens, then I'm more than happy to just keep that website up for as long as people support the business. So it's going to come down at some point, because as I say, I do suspect there will come a day where you need a digital ID just to log on to get online, and I'm going to resist that for all I'm worth. So as I say, I'll do this 1 month experiment, and if enough sales come in, great, I can keep the website going a little bit longer. So I'm going to be relying on you guys to spread the word and be the sales team, because I won't be doing any paid advertising. Many of you have asked how you can keep in contact with me once the websites go. Well, I do have a Substack, and I'm also have my own radio show on a new freedom of speech platform called clearair.fm. So you can find me in those two places. Now, Clear Air at the moment don't have a forum where you can contact people, but you can leave me messages on Substack, should you so wish. Now, I will warn you ahead of time, my Substack is devoted to all sorts of topics, most of which are not garden related. Initially, I set it up as a platform to promote my books, because a lot of writers are on Substack, and I've been interviewing people that I mention in this book, like Sandy Adams and Claire Wells Harrison, and many others who have been speaking out about this transition our governments are all over the world are putting us through over to stakeholder capitalism, which is a delightful mix of large corporations and government having complete control over our lives. 1984 is looking less fictional by the minute, and I also do cover some health stuff on Substack as well. There's an absolutely fascinating stroke slightly alarming interview I've just done with a lady called Kim Rogers, who nearly died because of parasites, of all things. So we discuss how people know. She and a few other experts say between 95 and 100% of people have parasites. It's quite a discussion. Is well worth listening to if you've got any peculiar medical stuff that you haven't been able to sort out. Just listen to what happened to Kim. Thankfully, there is a simple fix, which she also tells us about. So yes, my Substack is very different from anything you're used to from me, but you still may enjoy it. Who knows? And thank you to the hundreds of people that have been sending me photographs of their gardens from having done the courses. It's been absolutely wonderful seeing all the results that you've achieved through doing them. So that's made me very happy indeed. So I normally say, until next time, take care, but I don't know when next time will be. But if you follow me on Substack, then you'll see me quite regularly. So thank you for being part of Successful Garden Design. I wish you the very best for the future, and take good care.